Good morning, everyone. I hope you enjoyed yesterday's games. There were 3 of them. I've already analysed 2 of those, and there was so much fantasy and SuperCoach relevance in those ones. And we're going to be going through the Dolphins and the Titans game from last night, and that was an absolute crazy one, especially if you're looking at Titans assets. And with their round 1 bye, it's going to make it very, very tough. But if you're a New Zealand resident, you're going to want to hear this one. And we've had some problems with getting prizes and different things from the NRL if you are from New Zealand. And fear no more. I have teamed up with Full-Time Sports Bar and Eatery, and they're going to be running their own fantasy league this year. It's going to be so much fun across the season, but the winner is going to be getting flights and accommodation for next year's 2026 Magic Round. So a massive package for you guys, and it's in your backyard in Auckland. The Full-Time Sports Bar and Eatery, owned by a lot. The Warriors actually own a lot of this bar, so it's a really, really cool place to watch sport. And I'm actually going to be coming over there in the middle part of this year, so I'm super excited to come meet all the guys and meet a lot of you guys when we're over there as well. I'll have a little bit of a hint as to when I'm coming, but we'll be with the private group crew on that run. But firstly, guys, what you need to do to be entered in this, it's free to play. Awesome and simple. All you have to do is head into their Instagram account, Full-Time Sports Bar, and you do need to find this pin post that you see on my screen. So it'll be the top left one for those listening on podcast. And all you have to do there, guys, is comment fantasy, and you'll be DM'd with the code for the league. You have to be following Full-Time Sports Bar the whole year. And if you can share it with your friends, that would be even better. It'd be super helpful for these guys as well. So go and check out their Instagram on that front. And here's the details on it. So round 1 to round 21, it's going to be an overall competition. And the top 8 teams will move into a head-to-head comp from rounds 22 to 25. And then the winner of that will get a trip for 2 to Magic Round in Brisbane next year. So an awesome prize for all of you New Zealand residents. And hopefully if things work out really well with this season, we can bring it to the globe and especially to Australia. Would be very, very helpful as well for those that are in here as Australian viewers. So can't wait for this to happen. As I said, I'm heading over there. I'll be in this league as well, so you'll be able to get in and come up against me. And just a quick one, here's the T's and C's as well on that one. Very, very simple. If you can comment fantasy, share it, and that pin, the league pin, will be sent to you. And and these guys are in control of all of that. I'm just helping out with promoting it for them, and I'm going to be a big part of what they do this year and trying to build it further. They want a bit of a fantasy community within the sports bar and eatery. So I'm super excited for that. I'm going to come over and do some stuff with them, and I believe that they've said that they're gonna. It's not in here in the T's and C's, but they're hoping to do a few different events and different things across the season for NRL and NRL Fantasy fans. So shout out to Danny for reaching out. He watches all my videos and he's an avid fantasy fan. So if you are from New Zealand and you want to get involved in this, check all this out. Go find them on Instagram, but I'll pop all their stuff in the description as well to make this nice and easy for everyone. But yeah, it looks super cool, and I can't wait to get over there myself this year. But the Dolphins and the Titans, this was the big one, and we will kick it off with the real important stuff, the Dolphins, given I've taken you away from the video just a sec there. But I hope that sounds really exciting for all you guys. I know I am. But in terms of fantasy points, we had a 69 for AJ Brimson. Whew, he's going to be the contentious man in our sides, that's for sure. Given we know he scores really well at the 6th position, pre-game there, they end up moving Campbell to 7, and Foran did come off the bench. So all the talk in the preseason was that this was going to eventuate, and it did. And then Foran got injured, and it likely is going to be a biceps rupture, which is not great at all. So Brimson and Campbell looks like they're locked into 6 and 7, and they both provide either top tier keeper level status in Campbell as an incredible runner. He's going to organize this side, but then you've got Brimson as a incredible ball runner on the other side. His speed is unmatched. It's absolutely incredible. Although we did see Alan Fitzgibbon down the right hand side last night, and that was electric. Absolutely mammoth effort, and should have had a try back on the inside when he passed it to De Groot, who got caught right at the end actually. So tough times there on that front. But yeah, this situation with 6 and 7 for Brimson and Campbell, they both have some value, and Brimo obviously 2 tries in this one. He seems to find the try line. He's just an absolute jet of a football player. He had 146 run meters, which did include a couple of runs where he got out in open space. So you can discount the actual total run meters, but he's going to score tries like that sometimes. So 2 tries, 2 line breaks. But the big news for me on this front from both of those guys is their tackles. So 20 tackles for 2 misses, and he can be fairly consistent with that across his time. He's very much a 20-3 or 19-3 type defender. And then you've got Campbell as well, who had 20-1. So both of those guys find a way to get in there and work really hard and not miss the tackles. They fight in tackles basically, and that's what keeps them on. And someone I really love, both for more 31 for two missed tackles. So Campbell was able to outdo him. Obviously, Fermor did attempt a few more, nice. 226 kick meters for Campbell, 250 for Brimson. So that's also massive news that Brimo on that left-hand side with that left foot, the left foot, it just does help. It really does help when you can send it to that side, and it's the preferred spot on the left-hand side for a lefty to kick, less preferred for a righty. So they can use both sides to kick the footy in. And Campbell, I think, has a better kicking game than Brimson, but I do think that improved a little bit here last night. It looked a little bit more smooth, given your previous iterations of Brimson kicking in game. It hasn't looked very pretty. So Brimo at his price under 500k with the buy in round 1 is a little bit enticing, that's for sure, as someone to start with and not have to try to get them in your side if he comes out and does really well. There's lots of risk associated with Brimson and his body. For someone that's so injury prone and cops a lot of stuff, he is so fast, man. And he's still, to this day, incredibly quick. So you can see it in 2 ways. You can go, well, I want to start with one of these guys so that I don't have to worry about getting them in round 2, round 3. Or you can have them as targets and look to build to them. So I think with guys like Campbell and Fafita, both for more, these more expensive guys, Keanu Keeney, you can have them in your thoughts and look to build to them as targets in that first 6 rounds. Or you could play and muck around with one of them in your side straight up. So it's a pretty interesting situation how this is going to play out with those guys. And I'm not sure yet how I'm personally thinking about it, but Brimson is clearly in my thoughts. Same with Campbell, and both for more just continues to get back to what we saw from him in his 2023 pre-ACL, 2022, whatever it was, pre-ACL seasons there, which was would have been 2022, where he was awesome and he was over a 50 scorer, and we're going to see that again with Centre Jewel. So he's spectacular. He has the attacking plays. He runs so hard and he defends really well in games where it's he's going to play massive minutes. He'll get closer to that 40 tackles all of the time, and he has these 140 meter games in him, which is awesome. What about Keeney picking up that try early? And he didn't play many minutes at all, to be fair. The group came on and played a bunch there, and obviously managed to get 76 run meters on that front. So for Keeney, he's just always around it. His run meters are super high. The question's going to be, how many tackle breaks can he get and how many try involvements can he have? Because if he can be involved in that regularly, then he'll easily be 50 plus. If he has his quiet games and the Titans do struggle a little bit, then there could be some troubles with that as well. So the Titans a massive bounce back this week, but it was against the Dolphins, and I am worried about how they're going to play this year. Titans got spanked last week and then did have a nice turnaround and played better. But it was up against the Dolphins, who were near full strength as well and had their moments, but they didn't have that pizzazz that you probably want from a team coming into round 1. Although they do seem to just get up and start really well, but that was with Wayne. So there's some questions around that for sure. So Bowie's there. Fafita looked solid. He played a lot of minutes actually, so good to see his body is fit and well, but 16 tackles for 2 misses. It's very, very tough to take. Some people are interested in Sam Burrell, so we do have to shout him out. 48 points for him in this one. A lovely try assist to go along with his 41 tackles. And just really sad to see that for Foreign, with that biceps. Hopefully it is okay. But NRL Physio is a bit worried about it. Just that mechanism and the full outstretch, like trying to catch him. What are you doing that in a trial for? Like, it only seems to be negatives when we do something like that. So pretty tough. But outside of that, Campbell with his 67. We didn't go through his score exactly, but 126 run meters as well. He's got offloads in his game. He's got tackle breaks, the kick meters. He's got the tackles, the goal kicking. He's got it all. So he's one of those guys that you really want to search for and look to get it at some point with the wing fullback and the halfback duel. That's something that you will see Brimson get as well. So some dual position players are very, very important for you And then Tino, he picked up 29 in about 30 minutes or something like that. It was a very short stint, didn't come back on. Actually, I was looking at Gilbert. Gilbert played 32 minutes and Tino was a little bit less, potentially. I'll have to go back and check that one, or if someone did follow that closely. I went back and I hardly noticed Tom Gilbert, but I had to go back and check exactly how many minutes he played in that first stint. So it was up at 32. But yeah, Brian Kelly, 223 metres. Impressive on that front. And Cleese Haas, a really nice game for him. 63 points, over 100 metres gained, and 38 tackles for 1 miss. And shout out to Brian Kelly, 223 metres, 20 tackles made, 10 misses. And we did lose Pahulu with a head knock. And Brock Gray came on and did a really good job there and picked up 41 points. So congrats to those guys. And we'll leave the Titans there. Exciting to see Fitzgibbon, the Groot, Jojo Fafita, Sammy. A lot of talent in this side. And Khan Pereira hasn't got a bait in this. Didn't get a bait in this trial. So that part was interesting as well. But on the Dolphins side, Hammer had a really nice line break early. But I am a little bit worried about this side, to be honest. Herbie, I have expectations of him going around that 50 mark again pretty comfortably. But the worries with him are this team, and they looked a bit clunky, and sometimes he got pretty poor ball, and he had to do plenty with the average ball that he got. So once they play better, I think he's going to have mammoth scores, but 123 metres, 6 tackle breaks, 16 tackles for 1 miss. He's just such a strong boy, and he's going to continue to do great things. And there will be games where he does score a double and pick up a 70 or 80. But yeah, I'm a little bit worried of that from ball one, just seeing this, and they're going to come up against some slightly harder teams at times, for sure. Sarko 31, I don't know if I can go near him at the moment either. If you're going to spend any money on outside backs here in the Dolphins, it is Herbie, and we'll leave it at that. Hammer, I can't really go for either. Averillo 31 was okay, but Bostock, the little kick in the face, and then he hurts his own knee, so there's a bit of a on that one. So hopefully he's okay, but he was pretty sore walking off, so he'll get scans on that, and hopefully we find some good information around Bostock. And if we don't see him, we probably see Junior Tupou definitely play, given Averillo went into the halves in this game and Tupou did start. We saw Bostock into the centres for this one, which is a fair bit of what we kind of heard and thought through the preseason. We probably see Tupou, and then we might see Averillo back in the centres. But if we don't, there'll be someone new in that spot that could potentially have some value. We did lose Daniel Saifidi, and I just have to check what the GOAT NRL Physio did say on that one. Where is it? No, it's not there. I have to check on this one. But he did go off straight away, and that is not ideal. That's for sure. Let's just go. I'll talk and find it for us for that one. But with Saifidi, 5 points there only in 5 minutes, so really tough on his front there. Surely we've got it here. NRL Physio. Daniel Saifidi played just 5 minutes of the Dolphins trial, forced off with a hamstring injury. He was able to run from the field, so hopefully just tightness or a minor strain. If a strain's present, still often a 2 to 4 week return to play, so round one would be in some doubt. Yes, that's not ideal. I doubt that he would end up grabbing that spot round one with a hamstring niggle. I don't think that's worth it for someone of his age as well. So we might see someone come into that spot. And we saw Plath on the edge, and he had a couple of good runs, but it's probably not his ideal spot in my opinion. So we might see, Plath go into the front row or Gilbert slot into that spot for round one. But just keep an eye out on that one for the Finns. We may eventually, if Plath moves from edge, do I get my boy, Oren Keeley? And then one more thing to mention, guys, is we had Sione Finau, who I mentioned last night, that some reports of heat stroke, but he didn't look great. And he did cop that head knock in the set before he scored the try. So he actually fouled his HIA when they came off. So not ideal, and I hope he's okay and he can play in round one. Thanks for bearing with me on that one. But moving to Felice Kavusi had a bit of a game too, but Finefuriaki, 45. And what was crazy about this one is we didn't really notice him much. That first 60 minutes or so, he was hardly in frame, just making his tackles, a couple of runs there. He had the line break, he had the tackle break, and what else did he have in that one? Line break assist as well. So a few little bits and pieces down that left-hand side, which I'm not sure will happen on the regular basis. He had the one offload as well. But 25 tackles for 2 misses, I think was pretty solid. And I could say, just looking at him, that he has improved a little bit. So if you were interested in Kulakefu, I think that you can stick solid with him. He showed exactly what you wanted to see from him in a trial is to get anywhere near that mid-40s and some, the odd attacking stat, and then not too many missed tackles. So that was a win for all involved there. Plath, I don't think we can touch if he's on the edge at the moment. And then Tom Gilbert, so 26 in 32 minutes is pretty on brand with where he's at, and it does decrease that PPM the more minutes he plays. Personally, I think I'm just going to wait and see with Gilbert. He's coming off a lot of injuries, similar to Tino, who played really well, but Tino's just so expensive. You can't really take him. So with Gilbert, I think at 500k, there's some guys that are cheaper, and if things don't work out with them, I can go up to a Gilbert if things are improving and minutes are there for him. I just know that everything has to go right, in my opinion, for him to have 10 points of value, like he had, scoring 47 a game in 2023. But he's had 2 big injuries since then. Does he go back to that near 60 minutes and score 47, or does he play like 50 to 55 to start and average somewhere in the low 40s and make a little bit of cash, but nothing tremendous? That's kind of my thoughts on him. I'm personally going to wait, but I think you can jump on definitely, and you'll get some value, and he'll build up into those minutes, which is great. Dual position as well is always very, very handy. But Junior, I think, had some good runs. He looks a strong athlete. So 28 for him in his time out in the park was really solid, and didn't miss any tackles as well. So that's a win for Junior. Marky Nichols, how good is he? 2 tries, and there's a lot of chatter about him trying to get his third and be the first front rower in a long, long time to score a triple. Would it count in a trial? Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments. And Lemuelu definitely seems out of favour for him to be off the bench, so he might cover some minutes for one of the edges, it looks like, off the bench in round 1. So keep an eye out on that one. He could easily come into that starting side, instead of Oren Keeley, like I was mentioning, who I think is injured at the moment. Connolly could easily come into that spot if Plath were to move. And then Sean O'Sullivan, a pretty good effort from him. And I just want to shout out Kurt Donahue as well. Just some great efforts in there. 84 run meters. He picked up a try assist, line break assist as well, and also had some great tackle numbers, 26 for 0. So I expect him to be there 14 in round 1, but if anything happens and he gets a spot, if he ends up at the 6, with Averillo moving to that centre spot, if Bostock's injured, then Donahue will be in a lot of people's sides as well. So I think we'll leave it there, guys. That's probably it on all of those guys. Yeah. Very cool. Thanks so much for being here, guys. Make sure you do jump in that competition. You'll get your code once you've followed and sent them the DM. Or they'll send you the DM after you've comment fantasy. So thanks so much for supporting this channel. I'm not unable to get little wins like this. Get to go over and meet these guys, and they're trying to really promote fantasy. So it's so cool to have these opportunities to fly over. Well, I'm gonna pay for that one. Fly over to Auckland and just meet you guys and all these types of things. And thanks to Full Time, they're gonna help us out once we're over there, which is good fun on that front. So thanks so much for being here, guys, and we'll catch you in that next video.